Have you ever noticed how a single moment can stay in your head far longer than it should? A moment that looks small from the outside, but once it happens, you can't stop replaying it. When a woman hugs you first, and for a brief second, everything inside you goes quiet. That's exactly the kind of moment most men underestimate. It's not fear. It's not shock. It's that sudden stillness where your body reacts before your mind has time to explain anything. Your breathing shifts slightly. Your posture changes. You become very aware of her presence in a way you weren't a second ago. And even though the hug itself is short, the feeling it creates lingers long after it ends. Most men try to dismiss that feeling immediately. They tell themselves it was just friendly, just polite, just something normal that didn't mean anything. They do this because it feels safer to ignore the moment than to sit with what it stirred inside them. But the truth is, not every woman initiates a hug, and not every hug creates that kind of internal pause. That's why this moment matters more than it seems. Long before words, humans communicate through space, through touch, and through how safe they feel around someone. These signals are quiet, and because they're quiet, most people overlook them. But the quiet signals are often the most honest ones. When a woman chooses to step closer on her own, she's responding to how she feels in your presence. This doesn't mean she has a plan or a clear intention. Often, she hasn't fully understood the feeling herself yet, but her body responds before her thoughts do, and that response tells a story her words haven't caught up with. What most men don't understand is that women rarely lead with words when something feels real. Words usually come later. First comes behavior, how long she stays near you, how close she stands, whether she feels comfortable enough to close the distance without being invited. Touch is not random for her. It's careful, it's measured, and it usually comes after an emotional decision. Even a small one has already been made. From her side, that hug isn't automatic. She notices how she feels around you. She notices whether your presence feels calm or tense, steady or unpredictable. These are not thoughts she sits down and analyzes. They are signals her nervous system picks up instantly, and her body moves toward what feels safe and away from what doesn't. So when she moves first, it's because her body already feels comfortable enough to step closer. Even if her mind hasn't put words to it yet, her body has already answered an important question. Do I feel okay being close to this man? This is where many men get confused. They expect attraction to be obvious and direct. They wait for clear words, compliments, or undeniable signals. But for many women, attraction begins quietly. It begins with ease, with comfort, with a sense that being near you doesn't require effort or protection. That feeling shows up in small actions long before it shows up in conversation. And because these actions are subtle, most men either miss them or misread them completely. The hug matters not because it promises anything, but because it reveals something. It shows that in that moment, she felt open enough to let you closer. And openness is not something people give without a reason. It grows from how you made her feel without trying to impress her. This is usually the point where most men unknowingly change the dynamic. The moment stays in their head, and instead of staying present, they start chasing the feeling. They talk more than they need to. They try harder to be funny, more interesting, more impressive. Some become nervous, others become overly enthusiastic, and slowly the calm energy she felt earlier begins to fade. From her side, she notices this shift immediately. Before, you felt steady and natural. Now you feel like you're trying. And effort is not what attracted her in the first place. What drew her in was how relaxed and grounded you were before anything emotional happened. Most men believe the mistake is not doing enough, but more often, the mistake is doing too much, trying to lock the moment in place, trying to force clarity, trying to turn a feeling into a result. Attraction needs space to breathe. Without space, it starts to feel heavy instead of natural. What actually keeps attraction alive is consistency, staying the same man, the same calm presence, the same way of carrying yourself. When a woman feels that you don't change just because something emotional happened, she relaxes even more. And when she relaxes, her interest grows without effort. She doesn't have to think about it. She doesn't have to question it. It shows up naturally in longer eye contact, softer expressions, and a stronger desire to stay near you. After that moment, she usually doesn't say anything obvious. She doesn't confess feelings or make things clear with words. Instead, she allows the connection to unfold. She gives you more access to her attention. She listens more closely. She stays longer. And she watches how you handle this phase. She's not testing whether you like her. She already knows that. She's paying attention to whether you remain emotionally steady as things slowly develop. Patience matters here far more than action. At a deeper level, that first moment of closeness is not really about the hug itself. It's about what it represents emotionally. Initiating touch means lowering her guard, even if only slightly. It means her nervous system felt calm enough around you to allow closeness instead of distance. Inside that moment, she's not analyzing you logically. She's feeling you. She notices whether your energy feels stable or restless, secure or dependent. These things are felt, not spoken, and they leave a deeper impression than words ever could. The final mistake most men make is trying to control the outcome. They worry about losing interest. They look for reassurance. They rush into emotional pressure without realizing it. But attraction does not grow under control. It grows under trust. When a man stays present instead of projecting into the future, when he allows space without pulling away, and when he shows interest without attachment to a result, a woman feels free. And freedom is what allows attraction to deepen naturally. So when you think back to that moment, understand this clearly. The hug was not a promise. It was not a guarantee. It was simply a signal that, for a brief moment, she felt open enough to step closer to you. And what happens next depends less on what you do and more on who you remain. You don't need to chase the moment. You don't need to recreate it. The strongest thing you can do is stay grounded, steady, and honest with yourself. That quiet steadiness is rare, and it's what makes a man unforgettable over time.